Howdy y'all and welcome back to the channel. Monkey Man is the new movie written and directed, also starring Dev Patel. And this is a full-out action revenge story. I'm not going to spoil anything about the plot, but trust me, you're going to want to see some people die. Now you're probably most familiar with Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire. He is the main character in that movie. He's done a ton of great work since then. It's been like 16 years. It's crazy. Something I didn't realize beforehand is this is very much his movie. He came up with the story, he wrote it, he produced it, he directed it, and he's the lead actor. That, any one of those jobs is insanely hard, so I don't know how he put it together as well as he did. Because the reviews that you're seeing are true. This holds like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this is a fantastic movie. It's not without its flaws, but let's get into the positives first. I would break this movie up into 3 different acts, and the first act, sort of the build-up, is virtually flawless. I was kind of astonished at how fantastic the movie was. Because Dune 2 is definitely my favorite movie of the year, but for the first act, I kid you not, I sat there and I was like, is this movie gonna be better? The 2 best things of its first act are its pace and its visual storytelling. This movie very much incorporates show, don't tell, and it really swings for the fences in a lot of things, and for a first-time director to be doing show, no tell, as well as Dev, is very impressive. It's clear that he took away a lot from the directors that he's worked with in the past. And yeah, its pace is incredible because for the first act, there really isn't a whole lot of fighting. I mean, the movie opens up on a fight, but the pace, I mean, the build-up to the first big fight is remarkably great. You kind of know why Dev Patel wants revenge against this police chief, which, oh my god, the guy's a scumbag. Without knowing everything that the guy did to Dev Patel's character, you don't like him. I mean, the first time that they show him on screen, it really dawned on me how good of a job they did in building up this villain, because whenever you see him, your eyes kind of widen, or mine did, where I'm like, oh my god, that's the guy. And they cut to Dev, and he has the same reaction where he sort of can't believe, like, I'm face to face with this man right now that I have been building up towards my entire life. And they did a great job of building up this revenge story in that he has been going for this man for years. I really enjoyed the movie, but something clicked the second time the Monkey Man was in the ring, where you sort of saw how he has been maneuvering his way through life, how he gets people to do what he wants, how he obtains money, how he goes up the social ladder, I guess. It's all extremely clever, but hey, you know what? The action, whenever it hits hard. The action is awesome. It had me reacting in the seat. It's some of the best action that I've seen, probably the best action since John Wick Chapter 4, which there is a John Wick reference in this movie that I loved. Particularly, there is a sequence with an axe that was very effective. Let's just say that. If you're one to get queasy at the sight of blood, this is not the movie for you. But this movie isn't without its flaws. Like I said, the first act is virtually perfect in my opinion. Unfortunately, the second act loses a bit of steam, and there are quite a bit of plot conveniences, like the Dev Patel character seeks commune with, I guess, this group of people that just aren't going to turn him into the police. That's not really a big spoiler, but it just kind of seems convenient at the time. And what's most disappointing about that is the movie already had proven that it can tell a great story without there being a huge fight, so I just wanted more of that in the second act. You know, it definitely lost a bit of steam, so that's a flaw that I thought of for the movie. But then the second thing is, you know, we have our main villain, but they sort of just kind of also bring in this big bad, which, I mean, he has a reason for being in the story, but I don't know what it is. He does kind of feel shoehorned in there. Like the movie felt like it needed a big, ultra bad guy. But honestly, that could have been because of some of the movie's themes involving religion and some of the religious stories that it tells throughout. So I do understand why the character's there. It just kind of like gets landed at our feet midway through the movie that, no, this guy's the big villain. We don't like the police chief, but we gotta go after this guy. But I will say about the sort of community that Dev Patel joins midway through the movie, I am a sucker for stories that involve a character having to remember who they are. Like The Lion King is probably the best example of that with Simba, where I remember specifically in the play, Mufasa says in the sky, "Simba, remember who you are." That's like ingrained in my head. And that sort of theme is prevalent in this movie involving Dev Patel's character, so I understand why the community was there. It still seemed kind of convenient to me. And also at the very end, I mean, you could say this about any big action movie, but guns probably would have solved all of the bad guys' problems at the end involving Dev Patel's character. But you know what? We got an awesome fight scene there at the end. All in all, you guys, this is an outstanding action movie. The best one that I've seen in a full year since John Wick Chapter 4. It was produced for a very low budget. This is a passion project from a first-time director. I'll say Dev Patel knocked it out of the park. It's not without its flaws, but it's his first directing gig, and it's a fantastic movie. You have to go watch it if you like that sort of thing. But those are my thoughts on Monkey Man. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Bye, y'all.